of channelinginc.com. Please feel free to go to my website, channelinginc.com, and find out more about all the events that I offer on a regular basis. And today I would like to talk about karmic contracts versus soulmates. What is the difference? Have you have you ever had a time in your life when you met somebody and it's the first time you've met them, you've never met them before, and then all of a sudden you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you forever. And the reason why is because that person most likely is a member of your soul family. Now, that means most likely you've had not just one incarnation, but potentially many incarnations together, and you've incarnated many, many times, many lifetimes together. And so what happens is you can have a karmic connection with somebody, and you can have like what's called Akashic records, contracts, deals, agreements, and things like that made that maybe are unresolved from past lifetimes. So, for example, there's this lady that I knew. Um, she's she was met this guy and was all of a sudden like totally obsessed with marrying him. She like had to marry him. She had to. She's like, I have to marry this guy. So within 3 months, and spending thousands of dollars on a wedding, she ended up, getting married to the guy. And when she went to go sign the marriage vow, like the certificates and all that, as soon as she signed it, she's like, oh, I'm no longer in love with this guy. I no longer want to be with him. I fulfilled my contract. I fulfilled my duty. And this contract came from, actually, in her case, it came from a past lifetime, where in a past lifetime she was like, okay, he ended up dying early, like at a young age, and the two of them were together. And so she's like, I made a vow, I made a contract that I'm going to find you in a future lifetime and I'm going to marry you again. So when she met him again in this lifetime, she's like, I have to marry you, I have to marry you. And even though they weren't necessarily meant to be together in this lifetime, she forced it to happen. And then within a few months after they got married, she actually ended up getting divorced. And there's that saying out there that says, marriage is grand and divorce is 10 grand, that kind of stuff. So, with that's an Akashic Records thing. And there are a lot more gentler, easier, and less expensive ways of dealing with that stuff, healing the contracts, deals, and agreements that you might have with somebody from a past lifetime. So then the question is, if you meet somebody and they're a potential soulmate, do you necessarily have a contract with that person as well? The answer is potentially yes, and the answer is potentially no. So let me clarify something about soulmates is um, what I learned and through the hard way is like that there's actually I used to have you ever heard the saying that's like, oh, the one, you're looking for the one, the soulmate, there's only one soulmate, the one. And you go there, you go out through life and you're looking for the one. I think we've all heard that, right? The one. And so I thought I found like the one time way back in the day, and I was moved in with this lady. I'm like, yeah, I found the one. And the first year was great, and by the second year, though, it deteriorated really quickly. It got very toxic. But I'm like, no, no, I have to make this work because she's the one. And so then I stuck it out and I'm like, I have to make this work. And then by the third year, it got even worse. And then by the fourth year, it was like so toxic. I had no choice, but I had to break up with her. But afterward, I was totally devastated because like I'm like, oh no, what have I done? Like I screwed up, I messed up, I couldn't make this work. And my soulmate, that the one that I thought I was going to be with the rest of my life, I messed it up. And here now I am, I'm doomed to be single the rest of my life. And many, many, many months went by. I was in a deep depression because of this, because I thought I'd screwed up my life. And then finally, afterward, I ended up channeling my spirit guides and I asked them, I'm like, is it true that you only have one potential soul, like one soulmate? And they're like, no, Ken, don't be silly. There's lots of potential soulmates out there, and they're everywhere. They're all over the planet. They're all over the earth. They're like scattered everywhere. I'm like, what? Really? Oh my goodness, so exciting. So I, freshened up, cleaned up, went out there, started dating again, and I would meet someone, and then, and I realized that there's many, many, many potential soulmates out there, not just one, which is good news for any of you watching. If you're in that status, that state where you're like, oh, there's not just one potential soulmate, there's lots. And so what can happen is you can meet somebody and you can have this major attraction, and it could be for one of three reasons. One is that it's because you have had like past lifetimes together because they are a potential soulmate. If they are a potential soulmate, they are members of your soul family for sure. The other reason why you might have this major attraction to them is because it could be that you actually have karmic contracts or Akashic records, contracts, deals, agreements with them. So you're feeling that draw to them because you want to sort out those previous contracts and agreements that you've had from past lifetimes. Or the third reason could be actually a combination of both. That yes, they're members of your soul family. You do have they are potential soulmates, and you might have also contracts that are unresolved that you want to work out with them. So what I recommend is a couple things. One is, first of all, definitely do Akashic Records healing, because no matter what, whether you meet somebody, you want to come with a clean slate. You don't want to all these like unresolved contracts, deals, agreements, karmic, past stuff that's happening, that's coming online for you when you meet this person, whether it's a friend or any other kind of relationship, a coworker, or a potential intimate romantic relationship. You want to come off on a nice clean slate. And then the other thing also that I recommend is that you use discernment, working with channeling, working with your spirit guides. So when you learn that, then you can when you meet this person, one of your many potential soulmates out there, then you can work on creating a healthy relationship where you're whole, you're complete, you have lots of self-love for you and yourself. And whether you're with this person or not, that's okay because you're whole and complete. And then same with the other person, they're whole and complete. So when the two of you come together, you collaborate with each other. You work in a synergistic way where you build off of each other and grow each other and are healthy. Whether it's for a short period of your life, like a one-time thing, a medium-term thing, or a long-term thing, whatever it might be, either way, you want to just keep working on yourself to be whole and complete and full of love, self-love, and all that. So and clean your side of the street so that when you do meet somebody, it can be a potentially healthy relationship. And just a little note on that is just because you meet somebody who is a potential soulmate doesn't mean everything's all automatically going to work out. Yes, it's going to take work on your end and owning your stuff, working on healing and clearing your stuff, your triggers and things as they come up in that relationship. And still, having tolerance and just overall, are they a good fit, and stuff like that. So there's all those variables and factors that come into play when meeting somebody, whether again it's short term or long term or whatever it might be. So my name's Ken Lewicki. This is the itty bitty bitty tip of the iceberg of what I teach with channeling. Again, you can check and verify all the stuff that I'm talking about when in real live moments with somebody. You meet somebody live at a gathering, at a party, at an event, and you can actually channel and find out like, oh, is this person, are they a potential soulmate of mine? You can channel and you can check, do we have any past like karmic imprints or Akashic records things that need to be resolved or cleared before we start getting any further. You can check all this with channeling, which is why I dedicate my life to this. I teach people how to channel full time. So please feel free to check out my website, channelinginc.com. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll see you all soon. Woohoo!